I just wanted a chocolate bunny. A story posted by Cresswell Lane on Let's Not Meet. When I was about 6 years old, Easter was rolling around, and I really wanted a chocolate bunny. I asked my dad to take me to Rite Aid to get me one, and he said he was busy. So I told him I'd just walk, and he said that was fine because, honestly, he was a pretty shitty parent. So I embark on the 1.5 or 2 mile walk through the rural Louisiana to the store. Houses are pretty sparse. I come up to a 4-way intersection and can see the store in the distance. As I approach the 4-way, I see a small green truck, which I think was a Ford Ranger. There were 2 men in it, and one in the passenger seat. The one in the passenger seat is blatantly pointing at me, and repeatedly, they are both looking and staring. I was about to cross through a parking lot on the right side of this intersection when I see this truck whip into it and park between the other 2 cars. I then see the passenger jump out of the truck and crouch down with his fucking hands out, trying to hide between their truck and a vehicle they parked next to. Thankfully, an older woman that used to babysit me when I stayed with my mom filled my young head with a bunch of stranger danger propaganda. I immediately flip out, bypass the parking lot, and break out into a dead sprint to the Rite Aid. Once inside, I begin to pace around the store a little bit and try to calm down. I took a glance through the glass to see the truck with the 2 guys in it parked right in front of the Rite Aid. At this point, I knew beyond all doubt what was going on. I asked the old lady at the cash register if I could use the store's phone to call my dad, and she said the phone could only be used to call 1-800 numbers for some reason. I burst into tears and start getting hysterical, and the manager comes to the front and lets me use his cell phone. I get in touch with my dad, who sent my brothers to pick me up, and by the time they got there, the green truck had left. No one believed me. They nonchalantly said, "So what happened? Something about kidnapping?" And I told them what had happened, and everyone just kind of brushed it off, and it was never talked about again. It makes me furious to this day. I wonder what the hell those scumbags were planning. And the thing that troubles me the most is that they could have gotten some other kids some other day and done God knows what. So wannabe kidnappers in the green truck. I hope you get buried alive. Let's not meet. Damn, buried alive, damn. Not Sans, Underman, thank you so much, says the chocolate bunny has a gun. That would be kind of funny if little chocolate bunnies came with little gun molds on them. I can't see my comments. At all. Like none. There we go. Just had to refresh. Bro, I saw Efren say, "Am I the only one in chat that can't hear anything?" And it was making me panic. I was like, was I muted that whole damn time? But I think it might just be you. What's up, Jackie Martin and Alexa and DJ Peck? Good to see ya. Azure. There's probably a bunch of people I missed, but I just decided to read right off the bat rather than wait for people. Lizzie, good to see ya. Happy Easter, Lakota. I wish my chat would work over in this other window. Looking at it through YouTube's kind of hard. Hello, Amber. And Amber. 2 different Ambers. I hope everyone's having a happy Easter and had some fun with the family and all that good stuff. Do I know anything about Corp's husband? Yes, he's a narrator on YouTube. He's a guy. I think he's around 19 to 20 years old. He was 17 when he started his channel. Yeah, there's a few things about him. Yeah, let me get them num-num sugar buns. Thank you, Savage. I appreciate that. Says I subbed and turned on notifications. I appreciate that. Thomas says, hey, my wife and I love you. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are both having a wonderful holiday. If it's still a holiday wherever you are. Get Corpse to make more videos. Do I look like his parent? He's going through some health issues. So it's been, I think both him and I started some health issues right around the same time. His just seemed to be pretty extreme. Last I knew, he had carpal tunnel in both his wrists and a whole bunch of other shit going on. So, yeah. Read D's. What the fuck was that? Hold on. Bro, I don't know what that was. I had to go check on my guinea pigs. I heard a loud crash come from their room, and I haven't woken them up yet. I realized that when I turned the light on. They got all excited. They're all treats. But I was just checking to make sure they weren't dead or some shit. Intoxicating Darkness, thank you so much, says, Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter back to you, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad you made the stream. Benny, you don't have to be here, bro. You think it sucks, then bounce, bro. It's not like I took over your desktop and had you sit here. Yeah, the guinea pigs are alright. I just heard a giant slam from in there, so it was really weird. We heard one the other day, too, so I don't know. Maybe it's something outside. No one knows. Yeah, we got two guinea pigs. One's Rex and one's Nip. Thank you, Corpse. I appreciate that. Corpse-Stormy. I appreciate it. I should say that right, so people don't think it's either corpse. Man, I really wish I could actually see against this white background. Normally my chat comes up in my streaming software, so it's got a black background so the text stands out, but for some reason it's not showing up there, so I'm having to look on YouTube, so it's really thin lettering on a white background. So yeah. Have I ever experienced something scary in real life? A few times, like the time I was almost kidnapped, which I've told the story of that I think a few times on stream. And that one I'm definitive that he was trying to catch me. That was pretty crazy. I was pretty young at the time too. But other than that, nothing like a lot of people would deem like scary, I guess. Mutant guinea pigs, that's what it is. They're just turning into their superpower selves, or they were just found something that they like to smash down, trying to get me to go in there and give them treats. Because every morning they get woken up with treats, whether it be raisins or bananas or any of that. And they go to bed with them too. And then at about 7 or 8 p.m. they get their fresh salad for the day. And hay in between, all that good stuff. I didn't know they were so high maintenance. The goddamn sign said beginner. It lies. What's up, John O'Connor? Good to see you, dude. I hope you're having a wonderful Easter. And Queenie. Good to see you guys. Well, both of you, I should say. You're both not guys, but... When are you going to upload? Here shortly. I've been getting stories, like... That's why I didn't even stream yesterday. My health issues have been pretty fucking bad. Today just seems to be a little better, so I figured I'd hop on a stream, say hello. But yeah, I posted... For all my patrons and channel members, I posted a video like a week and a half ago or something like that. That's all new stories that shouldn't have ever have been narrated before. Everyone that's watched it says they'd never heard them before. And then I also made up a new story, but that one's more of an exclusive for them. But I am going to have another video going up. I'm working on a 911 video, trying to write the script for another one of those, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, lining stuff up so that way everything goes smooth, I hope. I know at the beginning of the month, supposedly, as long as I get my paperwork in time, I'm hoping it does, then I should have health insurance so I can start trying to see what the fuck's wrong. Alexa really wants that sausage festival story. I know. I'm so sorry. I need to go through and just try to get another compilation of those stories. Amber, thank you so much, says, hope you feel better, your maker. Yeah, it's been something I've been dealing with for about 4 years, a little over. And it sucks. It sucks. Do I live in Kansas? No. I moved to Kansas originally in the military. I was part of the Big Red One, and they're out of Fort Riley, Kansas. Fort Riley, Kansas. So that's why I was out there, and then I moved away, and then I moved back. I don't know why, I just moved back. Random. Actually, I moved back there 3 times. I was there in the military, and then I left, and then moved back, and then I left, and then went back, and then I left, and I'm not going back. Although sometimes I wonder, I'm like, it was not too bad out there, and then I remember that, yeah, the Midwest humidity and all that shit sucks. America Dudester, thank you so much, says, is today Buse's Day or Bunny Christ Day? Or is the day that our bunny overlord rose from the grave and created Jesus as a cover story? What is Easter? What is it? I gotta remember, because I don't know. Is it like the day Jesus came back or something? Let's see. Because I can't remember. The most important and oldest festival of the Christian Church, celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and held in the Western Church between March 21st and April 25th, on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the northern spring equinox. Okay. So yeah, it was the resurrection of Jesus. Janae says, thank you for serving. Oh, it was a pleasure. Yeah, you tell me I get to blow things up? Hell yeah, I'm there. Nothing like blowing shit up. I think most guys are down to blow things up. 6'9" meme daddy 6'9", what up? Thank you so much for that $1 super chat. I hope you're having a wonderful day and enjoying the stream. Mr. Anime says, you and Let's Read sound a lot alike. I hear that a lot. I thought it was funny as fuck though, because we did our collaboration and all the people in his comments say, you suck! And I'm like, God damn it, I come to mine and everyone's like, you guys sound so similar. It's like the weirdest shit, man. But I also know his narrating voice is more of not like his natural voice. He's not like talking. So that's probably why. It's because when you're using a voice that's like a narrating voice, a lot of people can sound like that. It's like when you choose your natural voice, it's a lot harder to get mimicked, I guess is the best word. Gareth says, hey, do you remember me? I used to talk to you on Facebook. Gareth Hunt, if you remember. I'm trying to remember. It was probably a long time ago because I haven't talked to really anyone on Facebook. But I would be lying if I said I completely remember. I think I remember. I remember someone I was talking to quite a bit on Facebook, so. The BA says, why is this in my recommended? What is happening here? I don't know why it would be in your recommended. That's weird. I'm chatting with people and reading some stories. That's what I'm doing. Why is this so creepy? My channel is about creepiness, pretty much, so yeah. Yeah. How did I get the name Your Maker? I made it up. It was my gamer tag. Well, actually, the channel used to be called Your Maker 69. And once I got like 10 or 15,000 subscribers, I took the 69 off my name. But yeah, it was a gamer tag, so that way when my name would come up in the kill feed, it would say you were killed by your maker or something like that. So my channel used to be a gaming channel. Like, I've been on YouTube for 11 years now. So, yeah. What up, Lila? Am I a creep? Asks Alexa. Yes, I am. I'm glad I don't have an Alexa. And if any of you have an Alexa, it's probably having a lot of fun right now. But I'm glad I don't because, yeah. Now, if someone came in named, okay, blah, 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 I'm not going to say it because my phone's going to start pulling shit up, so. Yeah, Pamela, your Maker69. My gamer tag is still here, Maker69. So when I'm streaming video games or whatever, you can actually still see that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I did gaming for probably like 7 years, about that. And then I had a series, Wacky Worldwide News. I did that 3 episodes. And then I got bored of it. And then I took a break off YouTube for a while. And then I pretty much got tired of listening to the same music day after day at work. So I started listening to scary stories. And within a couple weeks, like, I heard them all. Because there was like no one doing it back then. So I went home after work and started recording on my cell phone. And got 80 views my first day. And I was like, holy shit, that's 80 views. So I just kept going, and it kind of, yeah. Am I still gaming? Oh yeah, for sure. What's the video of? What video? If you're meaning the exclusive video for the patrons and channel members, that was like camping stories, scary camping stories. But it was more ground-based, where it was like a lot of animals that could have gone wrong type of thing, as opposed to like a creeper just staring at them or something. And then I just made up a stupid story at the end like I normally do. And then my fat cat walked in and started meowing, so I had to integrate him into the story. So he turned into a mountain lion. What do I game right now? I've been playing Apex. I haven't even bought the PlayStation Plus in a while because all I've played is Apex. So, yeah. Everyone press D for your maker to dance. You know what? All my channel members, they can just skip that and just make me dance right there. Boom. There's my little dance emote. Captain Holland, thank you so much. $2 super chat. I really do appreciate you. No message or anything, but I hope you're having a wonderful Easter. Get some num sugar buns. Garrett said, I told you the story about my mom walking through a graveyard and a ghost with a twisted head chased her out. I think I remember that. That sounds familiar. I also read a lot of stories too, so sometimes they kind of blend together. I did get a message on Facebook though. I had a story submitted. I'm sure some of you might have heard about this. But I had a video on the channel I've since made unlisted because it was I guess it was fabricated. Like, it was the actual story. Okay, so it was the story, if some of you remember, her sister's name was Sonia, and Sonia had a kid, and then Sonia was like supposedly went on a date, got murdered by a guy or something like that. It's hard to remember the exact details, but it turns out the actual sister that the person who submitted the story claimed to be, they messaged me and they're like, hey, that's my sister, but I didn't submit that story, and it's got parts that aren't even true. But she's all, where did you get that picture? Because it turns out one of the pictures they gave me, they didn't even have or know where it came from. And that was one way I went to like research the story too, is, you know, I back searched all the photos trying to see if they'd show up under, you know, a Facebook page or anything like that. And that photo was completely not found anywhere. So that's why, you know, I figured it was an actual person submitting it. But it turns out, no, that was not even her. And what made it even crazier is the person went on the video and was commenting back as if they were that person. And she's like, I don't know who or what. And this person was like commenting back on everything. They were even emailing me back throughout the whole process of me making the video. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. But it turns out it wasn't her. She still doesn't know where that picture came from. Oh, yeah. Ariel says, just got broken up with after 4 years together. Love your channel. Hope this cheers me up. I'm sorry to hear that, but as much as you always hate to hear it, sometimes things do happen for a reason. You won't know until later, but I'm sorry and hope this does cheer you up and take your mind off of things, at least. I know breakups are always tough, especially when you're going through them. I've been through some really bad ones that tear you up, and then afterwards you're like, that made me who I am. So, we're here for you. Alright, let's see if they're... And yes, that story was an old story. Damn, it was only 10 months ago. I thought it was going back years. Years, but I guess not. I was trying to find some Easter stories. Turns out that's pretty damn hard. They're all just like redone, so I was just like, you know what, I'll just kind of read a couple live. Like I type in Easter, and all I'm seeing is crazy-eyed guy. When friendship ends, you die. Trying to sell chocolate or trying to lure children? ? The roommate. I suddenly realized that she was not my mother. The guy on my window. What is that? That sounds interesting. The guy on my... Ooh, bunny bait. Ooh, bunny bait. We'll try to read this. I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, but at the very end, I just was skimming through. It says, not the creepiest of stories. So it's about someone greedy and heartless, so it probably wouldn't be that entertaining. Yeah, that's another reason I haven't pumped out a lot of videos, is like a lot of the things, because I get a lot of my stuff from Reddit, and just recently it seems like the smiling stranger on the ridge. So there's a creeper living on my street now. Guy in Walmart that gave me the heebie-jeebies. And just, it seems like a lot of people just saying they were creepily stared at. So it's just like, yeah. It's either that or re-narrate a whole bunch of stories that a lot of people have heard and just organize them, but not really a thing I want to do. American Dutcher says, your maker, can you give us an oorah for your fella army peeps? Well, oorah is Marines, and hooah is Army, and is Navy, and is Coast Guard. That was supposed to be someone underwater. Fun fact, when I was in the Army, whenever like our platoon sergeant or squad leader or anything would say something, you know, a typical response is hooah. No matter what it is, you're just like hooah. It just means you understand them, blah, 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 blah. So that's like, you'll hear that so many times throughout the day, and it just got to the point where like they'd say something, I just go hooah, and the most crazy voice I could do. And it's pretty funny. Yeah. That would always make people bust up. I thought it was funny. You just ran a whole bunch of burly dudes, and you're all at the shooting machine guns at the range or something, and you just hooah in the background. No problem, American Deucer. I fully understand, dude. There's some weird sayings out there. One of our ruck marches, I was even saying it to one of my buddies at work, because the field I was in, I was a combat engineer, so that was explosives and whatnot. Explosives, and like we could do bridges, build bridges, all that shit, and we could blow them up, build them, blow them up, all that fun shit. But if you were to get the extensive training within that class, it's what's called a sapper, SAPPER, and you know, they still called all engineers pretty much sappers. You know, and our little saying was essayons. I think it's like French, and it says it's for let us try. But we had one, probably offend some people, but whatever. This is what we sang. It's like, you've all heard ruck marches where they got a cadence they're singing, you know, to keep everyone keeping step. And someone's all that sound, I came a little. Damn, I'm too excited. But yeah, this one was, who can take Helen Keller? Beat her all to hell. Cut off her fingers so she will never tell. Your sapper daddy can. Your sapper daddy can. Your sapper daddy can, because he mixes love with pain and makes the hurt feel good. Who can take a playmate? Fill her full of kids. Whip up some napalm and make us up some ribs. Your sapper daddy can. Your sapper daddy can't. And just stuff like that. You come up with some really funny ones. We made one about a mouse, He was a sapper mouse, because this mouse was crazy. We were doing training, and we would always be looking for this mouse, and we'd sometimes see him just running out, and no one could catch him, and he was stealing people's chocolate bars throughout the night and all kinds of shit. And so we were calling him a sapper because he had to have dropped down off this ledge and somehow gotten back up, and it's like a 6-foot ledge. So we're just like, damn, dude, what a sapper. Jackie's like, I know that one. Yeah, if you know anyone that was a combat engineer, they probably said that. I always thought that was funny. I started laughing when I heard it. Sounds like folk punk. Yeah, a lot of the cadences sound very interesting. A lot of them are just talking about like back home, shit like that. Did I have any paranormal or scary stories from the military? Not really, no. No paranormal for sure. Our scariest experience, like for me, was just like a crazy ass storm we were out in. And like we wake up and all the other platoons from the different units had already gone back, but we were still out there. Like the military police that we were out there with, we woke up and they were gone. Like everyone left except us. And lightning was striking like crazy. And we were in Kansas actually at the time, in the middle of, they call training like the field type of thing, and we were literally in a field, and I guess tornadoes were going crazy over there. Lightning was striking the Humvees. Like we took that opportunity to take a shower because you don't have a shower out there, so we were really dirty. So once it started pouring down, we all just grabbed our body wash and we're outside at like 2 a.m. Only lights from the lightning flashes, or if you wanted to put your NVG's night vision goggles on. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. What's up, Lord of Shower? Happy Easter to you, my friend. I'm glad you made it. Jackie says, I heard it all the way in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Nice. Yeah, it's going to get around for sure. I was born in Fort Bragg, not North Carolina, though. It's funny, though, when my science teacher, when I moved, could not understand that there was another Fort Bragg. He kept saying, so I was North Carolina. I was like, bro, I was never in North Carolina. And then like a week later, so do you like it in North Carolina? It's like, dude, I told you already, I'm not from North Carolina. Gothic says, who are you voting for in 2020? I have no idea, because that's still a long way to see what happens. I like to think about things. Besides, I wouldn't tell anyone anyways. I made the mistake of accidentally saying Trump's name in a blooper, and people flipped the fuck out. I can't believe you said his name. And I was like, yes. I said he walked around the Trump instead of he walked around the stump, because I had a brain fart, but I included it as a blooper, and holy shit, people get crazy if you mention anything political. Politics and religion are something you should always stick away from. Happy Easter, channel stars. Hentai said, if you pull my finger, you'll hear a tuba. Where's that window? The guy on my window. We'll check that out. I wanted to check this one out. So we'll read this story. It's not exactly Easter related, but whoops. This story is titled The Guy on My Window, and it was posted 5 years ago on the subreddit Let's Not Meet by Strawberry Blondish. I'm a 26-year-old girl that lives alone in a basement apartment with my dog. Last Easter. Oh shit, it is Easter. Last Easter, my dog was about 3 months old at the time. I took her out to do the thing before going to bed. This was around 1:30 a.m. We went to the yard. Pitch black, streetlights are kind of far off away, so the only light was from the people's windows. She's doing her thing, and I'm talking to her. I look up and look into my neighbor's yard. No fence, just 2 medium-sized trees are between our yards. And I see this tall man. I'm guessing around 2 meters tall. This guy is around 3 to 4 meters away from me and just stands there and stares. All of a sudden, he starts walking from the yard towards the street. I do the same. My front door was open, didn't want to risk anything. When I come to my door, I see the guy. He stands in front of my neighbor's house and he just stares back. I stood there for about 2 minutes just trying to see what the hell he was doing. Then he starts walking up the stairs of the house, and it looks like he's going in. At that point, I decided that I just had a very creepy neighbor and go into my apartment. I sit down on the couch and continue watching TV. Then I start seeing something blocking the beam of light that comes in through my curtains. And again, it gets blocked. It was like someone was walking in my yard. I mute the TV but hear nothing. The weather was very cold, so the grass was crispy. I stand up and lift my curtains up. Note that I live in a basement. And there he is. Our faces were too close to each other, on the opposite side of the window. I managed to keep my cool and stared back. The guy just stood up and walked slowly away in the crispy grass. Went to my neighbor's yard again. I freaked out and called the cops. And now, maybe 1 month ago, I'm watching TV with the dog. And all of a sudden, she starts growling. The hair on the back of her neck goes up. And her teeth start showing. There he was again. Same window. Now I have the curtains down always, have a security system, and always take a flashlight with me to the yard if it's dark. Creepy guy staring. Yeah, Rachel doing a story live. Hopefully I didn't have myself muted that whole time. Jessica Dicaldo. I've been doing good. How have you been? I hope I didn't butcher your name right there. I think I said it right. I've been doing very well. I hope you have been too. Gothic Rose, hello, says, narrating is so much fun. I love it. It is when you're, not like exhausted and everything seems to be going. The worst part about it is, I would have to say, like, when you're doing a finalized version and your mouth just clicks, whether your cheeks are slapping your teeth or your tongue just, I hate the mouth noises. So I'll like have to do a million takes. Fortunately, I haven't really heard them right now. So like now is the perfect time that I should be recording. But I'm enjoying chatting with people. Besides, it's a holiday. And I'm all alone. Scared. In the woods. Naked. And afraid. My wife's asleep, so yeah, I'm alone. I got the cats out here. I got Fat Boy Thumper and Skinny Man Tigger. Yep. Tachibana K. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It says, thanks, your maker. I enjoyed this and happy Easter. Hope you're doing good so far and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I'm glad you made the stream as well, and I hope you too have a wonderful day. Yes, I am having a very happy Easter. I slept like all day yesterday and like most of the day today. I got up at 9 this morning, went out to run errands, had to get some hay for the guinea pigs and go to Walmart, get some protein, and got back, and then I went back to sleep. And then I got up and started a stream. Trying to sleep while I can, because last week was absolutely horrible at work. Absolutely horrible. The Gothic Librarian says, hey, your maker, somehow I always get unnoticed by you. I'm the ninja of the stream. A normal ninja, I mean. Not the one like Captain. Oh, not the one with Captain. Capital N. Oh, not the... It's alright, I can't read. I'm looking at a screen, and the messages are so damn hard. Jessica's got your back too. Thank you so much, Jessica says. Towards Gothic librarians' request. See above. I sometimes glance over names. Like, I just kind of like try to read the comment, and I notice a lot more profile pictures too, but right now everything's like super small. But yeah, I get wrapped up in my own head. Whenever I'm talking or telling a story, I'm usually not looking at chat. And that's probably a bad habit. But it's good to see you, and I hope you're having a wonderful Easter as well. And thank you so much, Jessica, for hooking her up, making sure I see it. But yeah, sorry I missed that. My sister must be watching. She's all, so lonely. I'm so lonely. Yeah, I am. Hello, sister. Love you, and hope you and the fam are doing well and had a wonderful Easter. First Easter with the little baby. First Easter, right? Should be the first Easter with a little baby. Unless time flew by a lot faster than I thought. Oh, the request was for you to read the entire story in a high-pitched voice. What? I was going to, but I was afraid of annoying too many people. That's why I didn't. But that was my plan originally when I started out with the high-pitched voice. I was going to read the whole story in that voice. But I just know some people are like me, and they might just be like, you know what, this is annoying, I'm leaving. So, yeah. Hentai says, I'm having a hot Easter. Yeah, we are too here. I think we're in the 80s or 90s. Unless you're meaning hot like sexy time hot. Yeah. Anissa? I probably butchered that. Says, finally caught one of your lives. I'm glad you made it. I know my notifications usually go out pretty late. Well, sometimes they do. My wife will get my live stream notifications like 3 hours late. And she'll be like, were you live earlier? And I'll be like, yes. And she'll be like, or are you live now? And then I'll have to walk over and make sure I'm not accidentally live again. But yeah. Alexa says, no, you're never annoying. To some people I would be, I would think, but thank you so much. Gothic Rose, thank you so much, says, you inspired me to start narrating. Thank you. That's so cool. I'm glad I could help get you that boost to actually jump into it. I know it can be hard to actually take the dive and try, but I'm glad you actually went for it. And I appreciate the support. Let's check out my text. Gothic librarians? Well, fuck those people if they leave because of that. They're not fun people to be around. It just all depends on people's moods and whatnot. You know, if someone's in a bad mood, they just don't want to hear that thing, they just want to hear normal talking, then yeah. Can you make a more spooky forest horror stories? I will definitely keep an eye out for stories. Yeah, just want to find some that are not done and some that are more than just like a dude staring at someone type of thing. What's up, Carl? The llama? What up, dude? Pamela's like, damn, I would have loved to hear the story in your high-pitched voice. Oh, I muted myself. That's where I went. Glad I went back to the chat. Your maker. Who is your sister? She is the person who came out of my mom's vagina last. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I mute myself a lot. Yeah. My bad. I was trying to find a shorter story, but I found one. Yeah, I muted myself. See, the people that catch my streams a lot, they know what happened. It just seems to be a trend. I still need to make a muted emote. That's what I need to do. At least I'm in the habit of checking before I start reading. Because I used to like read the story and then get done with like a 10-minute story and I'm gonna be like, why is he not saying anything? And I'll be like, son of a bitch. Keep getting a text from my sister. She's still watching. Okay. I'm doing good, Queen Bee. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful holiday. Alright, I found a shorter story. I don't know what this is, but it's an Easter one from 3 years ago. It's only got 13 upvotes in 3 years. So, I'm not expecting, like, the craziest story. British accent.
This past Easter, my dad, a pilot from a cargo shipping company, was in town and offered to take me across the inlet for a nice dinner. As his co-pilots were away from their families, they were also invited to join, and gladly did. While I waited for them to validate their tickets in the ferry terminal, I spotted an unlikely duo standing by the door. 2 guys, late 20s at most, one large and oafish and the other shorter and movie star gorgeous. I looked just in time to see the oaf nod in my direction, and MS make a face that can only be described as, meh, I'd fuck her after a few beers. They stood close to us in the terminal. Keep in mind this ferry carries hundreds of people at a time, and I told my dad about the nod. He laughed and continued talking to his co-pilots next to us. Every time I looked over, MS was already looking at me. I shook my head. We sat on opposite ends of the ferry, Oaf and MS debarking before us. I was glad they were gone. We walked up the street from the terminal to the restaurant, and when I turned back to take the view of the city across the water, was surprised to find the duo had somehow ended up behind us, and were slowly walking up the street. I didn't think too much of it. It was a busy area, and lots of pubs were around. I did think about it more when they walked by the restaurant, peering intently in the front window where we were standing waiting for a table.
Oh my god, this is hard.
They smiled, exchanged words with each other, and kept moving. I let out a sigh of relief until they walked back from the opposite direction. They stopped. They leaned on a bike rack in front of the restaurant for a few minutes and then left. MS stared over his shoulder the whole time.
You hear my voice cracking? I can almost like not even keep this up anymore.
Over dinner, I informed my dad and his co-pilots of the events that transpired without them even realizing. They laughed about it and eventually had me laughing about it too. We never see this pair of guys again. 3 hours later, as we were waiting for the ferry return, I was talking to our company, recounting a story that earlier at dinner I had spotted Oaf and movie star over my dad's shoulder. MS was looking away. Scratch that. Staring. I quickly informed the guys. They were shocked and kept looking back at the pair. It's ma'am! There was a miniature showdown in the ferry terminal as each part...
Alright, I'm done. I can't do that. As each party stared at each other from opposite ends, I ended up
getting a 3-man escort home that night. If you're out there, Jensen Ackles and Shrek lookalikes, let's not meet again.
Okay, there we go. It's over. What was that? There was like screeching outside my house. Alright, that alarm was me telling myself that my mobile game, the event ends in 3 minutes. So I gotta like do these fights in like 3 minutes. Welcome to the people that just joined. Probably wondering what the hell that was. That was me being stupid. Yeah, I just had to switch for a second, Jackie. It felt weird. I couldn't get my voice box to go back to the lady voice. It was cracking too much. That screeching was me. I'm sure there were a few people screeching like, "Stop it! My ears!" But at least I have a compressor on, so. Alexa's like, "I was not paying attention to the story, just your maker's bad British accent." That was on point. What are you talking about?
Tea and crumpets, sir. Would you like some crumpets? Come over for some tea and crumpets and a smoke.
Spot on, okay? Puberty. I don't even remember like my voice cracking like that during puberty, but I don't think it's something you notice going through it too much. I'm sure my sisters probably noticed, especially with my voice how it is now. So someone's like, "Too much sugar." My energy drink has no sugar. I'm gonna unplug my phone so it doesn't do that again. I've had a lot of energy drinks, but no sugar. No, too much Jello. Oh no, I'm getting date raped. A Brit grabbing their balls. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's the accent I'm going for. I'm sure all my British people are so happy with that accent. Bridges says, "LMAO, I missed the story, but accent pretty bad." Man, you guys are crazy. I just don't think you were listening to it properly, because that accent was on point. I already know this because I've practiced that for like thousands of hours. Not really, obviously, but yeah, all my accents are actually pretty bad though. The Scottish accent. Scottish. I don't even know. I would always just mix that up. Even the Australian, if I do like an Australian accent, it always comes back to like a British accent. Like the only thing I do Australian is crikey, and they don't even say that in Australia. Well, I'm sure a few do, but I got informed when I was doing that whole story I made up for the B-Busta impersonation and all that shit. Everyone's like, "We don't even say crikey over here." And I was like, "Yeah, but Steve Irwin did." And he's like, "The Australian Americans know about most." Okay, I got my fights in. Boy. Dollface, good to see you, says, "What's up, you maker? How you been?" I've been good. I hope you have as well. Just been dealing with my health issues, all that shit. Did we lose someone? Goddamn alarm. Okay. Take care, Carl. I appreciate you dropping in. I hope you have a wonderful day. You can't just say Scottish and have it be a Scottish accent. Come on, don't tell me what I can and can't do. Emily Wyon. I don't know if that's the way I say your last name. Wyon. But hello and happy Easter. It's good to see ya. Look up voice coaching on YouTube. Oh, I do, and I practice it. But I feel weird when I'm on the spot, so I'd rather just have fun with everything. Like, I was watching one, like, Morgan Freeman try to do his voice, and it was like, you gotta talk really slow, bro. And then they said, like, move your tongue. And, like, I had it decent-ish, but, like, I always just go back to my normal voice because it's easier for me to talk normally, obviously, so. The first one was right. All right. Emily Wyon. Hello. Rachel's like, "Totally, I'm from Britain and it was uncanny," with the laughy faces. I thought so. Try a Welsh accent. What the hell would Welsh be? Am I even saying it right? I don't even know. Zach's like, "Please just get to the story." Yeah, sorry you've missed the first few stories, bro. I should totally dictate my entire stream around people popping in every 2 minutes. Yes, I'm a smartass, too. Accept it. Alright, well, I'm not gonna look up Easter because nothing's really fucking like Easter related either. woods. Let's see if there's something good in woods. I want something like old as shit. Let me check this one out. This one was posted like 5 months ago. It's titled, I Bet There's a Body in the Trunk. And it was posted by Ill Logic 5 months ago. In the subreddit Let's Not Meet. I've never posted anything here before, and this feels kind of tame compared to some of the other things here. But it still haunts me to this day. This happened when I was a teenager, around 14 or 15, in high school. I had a boyfriend at the time who lived a fairly short walk from the school, and we would often walk to his place after school ended and hang out for a few hours before I went home. Because we took the same route so often, I knew all the houses and landmarks on the way. In January, I live in the north so the winter is pretty cold and snowy, my boyfriend and I started to notice a car that had been parked in the same spot for a while. We thought nothing of it at the time. Maybe the car had died in the cold and whoever owned it couldn't afford to have it repaired. But as spring came and the snow melted, the car was still there, parked in the same spot at the end of my boyfriend's street. We passed it almost every day as we walked after school. And as the days grew warmer, a rotten stench started to rise from the car. I joked to my boyfriend, I bet there's a body in the trunk, and we laughed it off. But we were curious now. So one day we peered inside the car as we passed. The car was messy but not filled with trash or food. A discarded backpack lay across the back seat and papers were strewn here and there. It just looked like an ordinary car. Except we knew it hadn't moved in months, and the smell was indescribable. The smell continued to get worse as the spring turned to summer. One day when I couldn't come over for some reason, my boyfriend and his dad decided to investigate the car. They found that the doors were unlocked and the keys were inside the car. That was pretty strange. They went around to the back and popped open the trunk. My boyfriend told me that a swarm of black flies flew up from inside. The smell was definitely coming from the trunk. Inside were a bunch of black garbage bags. My boyfriend and his dad called the cops at that point. The cops told us that they found rotting bags of meat cut into pieces. The first pieces of meat they tested belonged to a pig, but a few weeks later my boyfriend's dad got another call. Under the pig meat were the bones of a human child. Whoever left that car sitting unlocked with the keys inside was obviously hoping the car would be stolen. It gives me the shivers to this day. Gothic Librarian, thank you so much, says, you earned this for the British accent. Yeah, I told you it was on point. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There you go, Zach. You're welcome. I see your thank yous. You're very welcome, dude. Yeah, sorry, I know a lot of people pop in at different times, so people that pop in, they're waiting for a story, and I just got done reading a story, and just a whole, so I try to cater to people when I can. I'm just a smartass about it. What's up, Abby Kimmel? Good to see you. I hope you and the family had a wonderful Easter. Jennifer says you have the perfect narrating voice. Oh my god. Thank you very much. I actually just noticed I have a fucking radio voice too the other day. My wife hates it because it's loud as fuck. But I noticed. I would do it now, but it would sound stupid. Maybe I'll do it in like one of my made up stories. I can do that like 105 FM, but it's like loud as fuck. They have to do it loud with a compressor, it seems like. They have to. Jawad said, please do not shout. I'm trying to sleep. Well, even if I do shout, there's a compressor on the stream, so it shouldn't make it too loud. Here, since you're still awake, that's about as loud as it's gonna get. Any louder than that, and then my mic just makes it stay that loud. So there you go. If you're cool with that loud, just adjust your volume to it and it won't ever be louder. You're welcome. Miss Bellatrixa, good to see you. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It says, Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you. I'm glad you made the stream. You make like a lot of my streams. It's always nice to see you around. The BA or Theba, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, says it's 3 a.m. and I'm still looking at this creepy background. Yes. I ended up just making it so it scrolls so it's not just like the same thing. I like the way it scrolls. When I did it the first time with the scrolling speed, it made me sick. It was scrolling so fast. I was like, oh my God. My wife thought you should leave it like that. I was like, people would just click off the stream immediately. If I'm getting sick from it, other people would too. Your maker, do you have a synthesizer so you can sound like T-Pain? I wish. I want to do some auto-tune shit. That would be so fun. I really wish I did. I need to find a program. I even tried looking up auto-tune. I'm just not very good at searching that kind of shit. But they probably want me to pay for it. Shit. Alexa says, I make a lot of your streams. God damn it. I deserve my Sausage Festival story. I'm also a patron and a channel member. Shit. I know. I feel so bad. I got it. Maybe I'll make my wife go through all my videos. I really wish I knew where that sausage story was. I still remember that story so much. That was so funny. But I can't like just retell it because I'll forget like key parts. Because I don't write any of those damn things down. For those of you that don't know, the sausage story she keeps talking about is one of my stories that I made up at the end. It was about a person who went to a sausage festival and he was putting everyone's meat in his mouth. Like one dude was like, close your eyes, open your mouth, and I forget exactly what happened, but next thing you know, there's like 10 people all with their sausages lightly smacking them in the face. And I was just going really stupid with it. And it was hilarious, but yeah, I do need to find that. What are your favorite type of creepy videos to read? Pretty much any that are good and aren't just guys like staring at people type of thing. Yeah. But I really do like enjoy camping ones and outdoors, all that stuff. American Dutcher says, everyone press whatever the fuck that thing is for your maker's wife to narrate a story. I wish she'd narrate a story. I could barely get her to narrate parts of a story. Maybe once her braces come off. Mariah says, what did I join? A live stream. Hello. Happy Easter. Oh. It's a tooth, your maker. What's a tooth? What did I miss? Trust me, I know teeth. I make them. Okay? I still gotta also make that video for all my patrons and shit. Oh, it's a teeth emoji. Yeah, it's not showing up on my screen. It just shows a black square. It's just yeah. I wonder if I can paste what it shows. I'm sure it'll let me. That's what it shows on my screen. I don't know if it shows for you guys, but it just shows a black square. I don't get to see it. Nameless One says, love your content, man. Been listening to you since you started. First time attending a live stream of yours. I'm glad you made it, and thank you so much for the long time support. We have come a long way since when I started. A very long way. Alexa's like, apparently you don't. Hey, it's not my fault my computer's not hip and cool with all that stuff. Hentai Forever says, testicles. That is all. Lisa says, bless your wife. Your wipe. Hope she's looking after you. You are amazing. My wife takes great care of me. She does. She makes me my smoothies after work, my protein shakes. Like, she spoils me. She helps me a lot with the channel, too. Since I'm, doing my thing at work, making them teeth again. Hello, Chandrika. Happy Easter back to you, too. Thank you so much for dropping in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you and the family had a great time, or if you're just alone like me, lonely, then you had a nice chill day. Okay, this story was posted 11 months ago on Let's Not Meet, and it's posted there by Whimsy Moth. And it's titled, Let's Kill This Guy, Bury His Body in the Woods, Take All His Money, and Run Off Together. So, I'm a waitress at a pretty small village pub. It's really chill and we don't get a lot of customers, so I'm usually the only server or bartender. The only really busy day is Sunday around noon, so my boss stays to help me with the lunch rush. Last Sunday was pretty calm and manageable. I was taking care of customers in the main room and garden, while my boss was taking care of 2 large parties in a separate dining hall. Since it was a small village pub in a very rural area, I know almost all of our customers, so that one guy really stood out because I had never seen him before. He was probably in his late 40s, smelled terrible, and had extremely greasy hair. He was just standing at the bar, drinking beer and talking to a man who is a regular and comes in every day. The weird guy was constantly staring at me with wide eyes, biting his nails, which were already creepy as fuck. I overheard him saying stuff like, "Wow, she is such a doll. Unbelievable." Or, "I wish she would wear a miniskirt to work." To the other customer. That made me pretty uncomfortable. But still, it happens almost every day since I'm an 18-year-old girl and most of my customers are 40-plus-year-old men. About an hour later, my area was pretty empty and the creepy guy was the only one left at the bar. He was still staring at me and biting his nails. My boss was standing at the other end of the bar with one of the customers who was paying a pretty large bill, and when the customer opened his wallet, he could see a bunch of $100 notes in there. The creepy guy mumbled something in my direction, and I said,
"I'm sorry? What was that?"
He was waving me closer, so I did, and he mumbled very quietly, "Hey, I have a great idea." I said,
"Oh yes, what is that?"
"No, that's gonna be a question."
"Oh yes? What's that?"
He nodded towards the paying customer and mumbled, "We could kill this guy, bury his body in the woods, take all his money, and run off together." I thought that was some kind of odd joke and awkwardly tried to laugh, but the guy didn't laugh or smile or anything. I just kinda stuttered.
Oh no, I can't do that."
Wait. Oh no, I butchered that.
"Oh no, I don't think that's a good idea."
He still wasn't smiling or laughing, so I just noped the fuck out of there and started to do some work in the back until the guy was gone. I am used to creeps, but this guy was next level, and I still don't know if he was trying to make a joke or if he actually meant it. Gothic's like, "Oh, I smell a nice guy." What's up, Just Random? I see ya. Lipstick Lisa says, "I like the one with the kid, lived near the school, but took him ages to walk there." Got a lip. Yeah, the kid who was living in a motorhome 13 feet from his school or whatever the fuck it was. I really liked the camping one, where the dude was out camping, and he was like, "Well, if people hang their food, then me hanging should be totally fine and safe from animals." And then he was up there hanging, and like something came. I don't remember. I think it was my cat walked in the room, so I had another mountain lion in my video. And then fucking the wind, he started peeing to mark his territory, and then the wind started blowing him, and he was spinning in circles in the air, peeing all over, and it got in his mouth, but he didn't care because he was dehydrated. I think that was one of my favorite made-up stories. I don't know where I come up with these. It's the funniest shit. Tracy says, I could fall asleep listening to your narrating stories. Your scary ones. Okay, your voice is very calm, but not when you try to talk like a girl, though. Wahaha, love it. You don't like my girly voice? It's not scary enough? Gosh, I try so hard. Yeah, I think I would just laugh if I was listening to someone do that too. Alexa asks, do you have any night security guard stories? I do have, not security guard. I have a night shift story. I read it during my last stream, but I gotta reread it because I didn't record, and that'll be going in a video. But, I might want to re-record like a security guard one that I did a long time ago, because like, my narration, just like with the quality I have, I think is a lot better, so it could do the story justice. Plus, there was footage of the area he was doing security of, so, I mean, it was actually a really creepy area. So I'll probably want to do that. Pink Brian is Crazy Brian says, camping stories are intense. Intense. Get it? Ah, get it. Gothic Rose, talking about doing a video? Yeah. Definitely have to give her a go and keep at it, Gothic, for sure. Just gotta listen to the feedback and try to get that promotion you can, and your tags and all that shit. Like he says, my daughter doesn't believe I know you. LOL. Well, tell your daughter she's a little shit and to get in the corner. They're turning the frogs gay. Just kidding. Tell your daughter I said hello. The Gothic Librarian. Between your soothing voice and the rain sound, I was out cold for 2 hours. Nice. Yeah, I know a lot of people that fall asleep enjoy the rain sound. But I just noticed it takes a lot out of the lower end of my voice, too. Like the raspiness. I've noticed it'll actually cut it out, so I'm gonna start doing a lot more music too, but I do like the rain switch up, and it's really easy. Like if I'm in a time crunch, I could just put the rain over it, and it's a lot easier than trying to match up music. For those of you that don't know, in my patrons and channel member exclusive video, at the end of my video when I made up a story, it involved the frogs turning gay and harvesting babies and all that. They're harvesting babies! Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I enjoyed that story, for sure. Zachna says, smell you later, I gotta go. Also, stop turning the frickin' frogs gay. You're such a nut. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for dropping in, Zach. I appreciate you, dude. You should do a Sally Williams creepypasta story. I have no idea what that is, Angela. Never even heard of it. Those gay frogs were so fucking funny. I think I'll have to do like an update to that story. Like I'll just, when I make up my next story or whatever, I'll just be like, so where we left off, my uncle and I had just gotten off a 2-week stint in the cabin where they were turning the frogs gay and harvesting babies. We made it our mission to turn the frogs straight and not harvest babies. I don't know, I'll have to make something of it. That would be funny as shit. Unexplainable says, I must have missed that. That one, yeah, that one's a patron exclusive and a member exclusive, that whole video. It's like a 20-minute video of just stories never before heard. I don't think on YouTube at all, but had to make something a little special for them because they've been longtime supporters of the channels, and I haven't been able to get too many exclusives out with the permissions and whatnot, so yeah. Hello, Dolly, Rosie, and Raina. I hope you're all having a happy Easter. Zucker said, I like the stop, drop, torque off story. That one was a pretty good one too. Where is Teddy? Yeah, the officer that was twerking was based off of Teddy. He's a police officer that's been a long time patron and channel member. He must be busy now. Channel Star says, I just came back. Well, welcome back. Your maker, the fuck, I didn't hear that in the patron/member channel only stories. Hear what? The update? I didn't do an update. The update's gonna be in another story. But you heard the frog gay story, right? I think. Skyrunner says, I left the stream a minute ago. Did you ever get my Gmail? I'm not sure. My submitted, that's a different account, so I would actually have to be signed in. I have actually a few different Gmails, so I won't know until after the stream. No, you didn't. You didn't hear it? How the fuck? Alright, maybe we'll put it on. Gives me a chance to sneak out for a smoke. So we're gonna give all the people here, they're not gonna hear any of the actual real stories from the video, but we'll let them hear the made up story that I made up. So let me get it up here, find it, and then that gives me a second to sneak out. I just gotta find it. Patron member exclusive. Where the fuck is it? Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to find this story real quick. Okay, yeah, so sorry I was muting myself. I was keeping the rest of the video private, damn it. So I found the spot that where the made up. I can't believe you didn't catch it, Alexa. That's so strange. But that's alright, it'll give me a chance to, yeah. Oh, I could just put it on, it gives me a chance to step out. I'm not gonna do the full video anyways, it'll just be the one I made up, so be a nice little treat for the few people that are in here too. Plus, if anyone wants to hear more, then they can become a patron or fucking channel member. If not, at least they get a whole thing. I probably just didn't finish hearing the whole video. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Alexa might have dozed off or had to go do something like that. But it's alright, I'll put it back on. Cody's like, don't smoke. Yeah, I shouldn't, but yeah. Skyrunner says, what's your Gmail, your maker? Your maker6260@gmail.com. That's the one to submit stories to and all that stuff. Yeah, this will be a nice little Easter gift anyways. Besides, this stream won't go public for anyone else, so this will just be a, you're here, you catch it. Thank you so much, Carrie. Says, love the 911 stories. I'm glad you do. I've noticed the past 2 days, YouTube's really been putting those in the algorithm. Like, it's been crazy to actually see them getting views. It's nice. There was, one of them was getting like 3,000 views an hour for a couple hours. So it's cool that YouTube finally caught him in the algorithm, and I am working on another one as well, so yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and we will let you guys hear this story. So, all my, well, not all, but if you're a channel member or a patron, you might have heard this, but it's still fucking hilarious and you're gonna hear it again. For everyone else, this should be complete, well, this will be completely new to you, so enjoy. I gotta adjust the volume. It's always scarier if it's true. Bad bye. This is a story that takes place at my uncle's cabin. It's located about 30 miles out of the closest city, pretty much the middle of nowhere. We ended up taking a 4-day weekend and going out there. 2 days into our trip, we started noticing someone was around the area. Originally, we would just find things out of place and thought one of us was messing with the other, but we started to hear footsteps and voices. I asked my uncle if he heard anything, and he just replied, "They're turning the frogs gay." I asked him what that had to do with anything about the people out here, and he just responded, "They're harvesting babies." My uncle being my uncle. So I decided to go out and investigate alone. I decided to take my slingshot over my 12 gauge. I figured I'm a better shot with a slingshot, so if anyone was out there and they came after me, I could just shoot them in the eye with the thing or something. That was probably my first mistake. Actually, my first mistake was going to a cabin with my uncle, because for the whole goddamn ride, all I heard about was how the frogs were turning gay and how they're harvesting babies. I don't even know who the fuck they are, but they're doing it, I guess, at least according to him. But I digress. I'd say I made it about 300 yards into the woods before I started hearing voices. I decided I needed to sneak up on these people and find out what they were doing out there. So I started to low crawl up to them, being very vigilant to make sure I didn't break any branches. As I'm making my way up towards them, out of nowhere, a mountain lion comes in. He starts licking me, and I say, "Get away, mountain lion, I'm listening to these people." After realizing the mountain lion wasn't going anywhere, I decided to just deal with it. I sat there and listened to these two men discussing something. "Hey man, did you put that stuff in the water to turn the frogs gay?" "Yeah dude, I got it. Don't even worry about it, we got those frogs, they're gonna be real gay, dude." "Awesome. Now what about some babies? We gotta find them to harvest them." "Hey, don't worry dude, I got you covered there too. We'll head out tomorrow and we'll go get ourselves some babies to harvest." This was the point I realized that I'd heard enough. I pulled a stone out of my pocket and loaded it into my slingshot. I pulled it back and lined up the shot, and let it go. Turns out I'm a horrible shot with a slingshot. I didn't even get close to him. But it turns out they actually heard the noise and went to follow, and fortunately I had shot it away from me because I'm not that bad of a shot to where I shot it at myself, so that put a lot of distance between them and me. So I took that opportunity to get up and run as fast as I could back to my uncle's cabin. As soon as I'm walking up the stairs, I hear him yell, "They're turning the frogs gay!" I burst through the door and say, "You're right, Uncle. They're turning the frogs gay and they're harvesting babies. What do we do?" He stands up and looks at me and a smile creeps across his face. "We're gonna go find some really pretty frogs and bring them and turn these frogs back to being straight. And then we're gonna go protect all these babies from being harvested." I told him that sounded like a great idea, but we should finish the weekend first. And that's what we did. We played Jenga the rest of the weekend, and my uncle informed me about all the other stuff that he found out there doing. Way too much to get into here, but I'll let you know, holy shit, they are busy. So I'll keep you all updated on if we're turning the frogs straight or not. Thank you for listening. And that was a story. It was a story. Let me turn that volume back down before I turn this rain on. That'll blast people. But my headphones. Sorry for the beeping, my headphones are dying. I had to plug them in because I had my sound go through my headphones. That way I can hear. There you go, Alexa. You got to hear it now. And everybody else who isn't a channel member or patron got to hear it as well. Well, the ones that are here and made it. That is funny, Fila. I don't know if I heard that one. Unexplainable says Rick and Morty type story. I liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What's up, Jax Gaming? Good to see you. Glad you made it. Happy Easter. Hello, Kiwi. Probably said that right. I'm gonna say I said that right. Miss Bellatrix, so thank you so much. Says, I need to know what happened to the frogs. Yes. I'm gonna have to make an update story. I'll do that in my next public video. So that way everyone can at least know the update. And the people that caught the stream are gonna be like, now I know what happened. But everyone else is gonna be like, what the fuck is he talking about? Welcome, Shelly Clark, to the member squad. Enjoy those custom emotes and the channel badge. And to listen to that full video of actual camping stories, you can go to the community tab of my page, and you should be able to see it now. But yeah, you just click on my page, go to the community tab, and you'll be able to see ones that are hidden from other people. So you'll be able to see it. Emily says, even better the second time. I knew everyone who heard it would still enjoy it. I listened to it a few times. I thought it was funny as hell. Because I never know how the story's coming out, because obviously I just make them up off the top of my head. I just press record and go. So I don't laugh during my stories. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not really paying attention to what the hell I'm saying. But it's while I'm editing, I am just laughing so hard. There's been a couple times I'll just have tears streaming down my face. And it's just... yeah, it's interesting. Queen Bee says, I'd become a patron, but I'm broke. Hey, no harm. You just enjoy the content here. Your support is all I need. Just leave a like and I'm happy. Or a dislike. I don't even care. Either. Are there any haunted areas near me? Yes, there are. And I actually want to see if I can contact one or two and maybe try to stay the night. I know there's a haunted jail not too far from here. I think it's in Prescott. And then I think in Needles, California, there's a haunted building that's been closed down. And I also want to, I know we got like abandoned cities out here, so I might be trying to do that. Christina LLT, what's the difference between members and patrons? Patrons the way to go if you are gonna support that. You have more options wise as opposed to the $5 you're forced to do on YouTube. You can do like the $1 or here. But here gives you more of actual here perks, like custom channel badge. You'll get access to my exclusive content. And I'm doing live streams as well, but Patreon gets you like different tiers over there. We have an exclusive Discord for patrons only. You got to have your Discord linked to that. There's different tiers to get different rewards, like the credits you see, the special thanks at the end is one tier. And you can do lower increments there, so... And with the $5, it also gives you like a link to all my old videos that are unlisted, because I can't really share it here, I don't think. Actually, I might be able to do that. I should share that with my channel members too. See if I can find that link, and I'll have to share that here. But pretty much it's just, you get, like as for a content creator, Patreon seems to be the better way. We get more of a percentage of it, and you get more interaction, I guess. I don't know. But... for here, I have a lot of people that are patrons and channel members because you get a custom badge, like you get different emotes, like, let me throw up the different emotes we have right now, and I'll be making like a mute one here soon. And the cat that you see, that's actually Fat Cat. That was the mountain lion you heard in that story. Yeah. Jackie Martin says, I need the Discord. If you link your patron with the Discord, I think you go in settings and go all the way down, I want to say. And you should be able to link your Discord with your patron. And then that will send you the... I think it just like joins you straight in type of thing. Yeah. Hello, Anne Marie. I don't think I said hello to you. I see you chatting to someone else or something. Oh, or live reading YouTube, what are saying. I don't know if you were talking to someone else or not. Why is my chat window so tiny? Like it shrunk. Kawaii was like, hi, dude. How was your 420? It could have been better. I tried to get to the dispensary when they opened, but I was there before they opened. But there were people like posted up in chairs and shit. And like all the previous years, that means an hour's wait. I usually show up a half hour early and I gotta wait like an hour. So this one was probably gonna be like a 3-hour wait. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna hit any sale here. But I slept most of the day. So, not too bad. Take care, Dollface Killer. Thank you so much for dropping in. I hope you and the fam had a wonderful Easter. Ishalin says, Jesus, that thumbnail, and then it just like scrolled away. That thumbnail isn't good for 3 a.m. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy one for sure. Even my wife's like, dang. Jackie says, I just got Discord. Because the boyfriend wanted me to talk to his friends. That's awesome. Sundance says, indica or sativa. Depends on what I'm wanting to do. If I need to stay awake for the day, sativa. If I want to go to sleep, indica. My wife doesn't like sativa. It gets her really anxious. A lot of sativas do at least, so. But I'm down for whatever. Giggity. Just Random says, not feeling the best today, and this just made my day. I'm glad I could help you feel a little bit better. Take your mind on mind off things that might be going on in your life. Alright, see if I find another little story to read. I just noticed my headset had turned off, which means I couldn't hear anything, so I didn't even know if the rain was still going or nothing. Here's a story that was posted 12 months ago by Dioner or Dioner, and yeah. Mistress Horror, thank you so much. No message or anything, just wanted to show some channel loves. Underneath, I see Happy Easter, bro. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you as well, and thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. We're gonna get into another story. Alright, Alexa, I'll see you in a little bit. If I don't end the stream before you get back. Haha. Take care, American Doucher. Thank you so much for dropping in. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm glad you were able to make it for pretty much most of the stream. I think you've been here. And once again, thank you, Mistress Horror. Alexa says, I love listening to your maker in the shower. Alright, this story is called Let's Not Meet Again, Montana Hunters. So my wife and I backpack, hike a lot. The more remote the place, the better. In 2015, my wife and I were in the Bitterroot Wilderness of Montana. We had been out for 2 weeks on a 100-mile route, finding trail. We were connected together on a few topographic maps to make a loop. We had only seen one other person, Tom. We met him on our second day in and his last day out. He told us he hadn't ran into anyone out there, so as far as we all knew, we were going to be alone out there. He told us hunting season was weeks away, but we might find scouts. To be very careful with our food, we were to eat and our to be very careful with our food, where to eat, and our scents because it was bear country and he had seen a few, and even one with cubs. He also mentioned that he had heard a cougar in the distance. But that we should be okay as long as we stick together. We camped together that night, and the next morning we thanked him for his company and all the info and parted ways. For 2 weeks we hiked, saw some cool vistas, swam, saw and heard wildlife, and all the stuff you'd expect to see in the back country. We didn't really think about Tom again. After a few days out and hadn't seen anyone, we took the thought of being alone for granted and let our guard down. As far as the other people were concerned, we were alone out there. We are in our last few days out, winding the trip down, sauntering back to the trailhead, just taking it all in. We find a nice flat tent site, make fire, some dinner, hang our food bag, and walk back to our tent for the night and pass a good night's sleep. The next morning, as backpackers do, we break down camp as early as possible, get some breakfast and coffee into us, but before we leave camp, I need to drop a deuce. Yeah, boy! So I venture away from the tent site to find a suitable spot. As I'm walking around to find a place to dig my cat hole, I come up to a lumped thing looking like a bush. I was not expecting to run into anyone out here, as we had only seen one other person early on and no one else since. I wasn't paying attention, as I'm looking for somewhere to shit and not really looking out for people. These two are in camo blind type of wrap. I didn't realize that they were there, and they didn't hear or realize that I walked up on them until the last minute when I got right up to them, tripping over one of their legs. They scared the shit out of me, and I scared the shit out of them. When I hit the guy's leg, I startled him. He kind of jumped up, knocked his blind off for the big reveal. This guy was on his knees, has his dick in his hand, apparently blowing the other guy that is against the tree. Wow, that was a turn I was not expecting. Now the guy on his knees was looking at me dead in the eyes with a, "What the fuck? Who are you?" "Oh, fuck, I'm caught." My side is going back and forth from Hunter, Dick, Hunter, Dick, Hunter. The guy standing yells at me, "What the fuck you doing, man?" They scramble, one trying to stand up, the other man pulling his pants up. All the while, both are fighting the blind that's wrapped in between them. Me, in disbelief of what I just came upon, just stood there for what felt like forever. I stumbled over my words to find an apology and blurted out, "Nothing, guys. Sorry, have fun." I turned back to my camp in almost a run. They yell out to me to stop, but I didn't. That was the longest 200-yard sprint ever. I got back to camp. My wife looked at me and instantly knew something had happened and asked me what was up. I told her to grab her stuff, and we hurried out of there without a word. About half an hour to an hour later of sprint hiking, we had to stop. I still hadn't taken a dump, and I still had to go. So we took a spur trail to break, snack, and tell her what happened. She told me she was worried that I had scared her, and that I had scared her. She was scared the whole time, thinking I had been chased by a bear or a cougar or something, and it was after us. I told her it was nothing like that, but just two hunters hiding out blowing each other. We talked a bit about it. She asked if I thought they'd look for us. Was I turned on? Am I Randy? I added those last ones. I told her I didn't think so. They probably left after being caught. If they were upset. Yeah, they yelled at me, wanting to know what the fuck I was doing. If we should just make it back to the car and leave. No, let's wait for them. Oh, let's wait them out just in case they're at the trailhead waiting. Like I said, we'd been out there for 2 weeks now, and we have been making our way back in less than a day hike from a trailhead at some point. So they must have gone out after being caught. After a while of talking over it, we just chuckled and hiked up the creek where we were going to camp for the night. We made camp off a trail in a nice outcrop with no incident. The next morning, we wake up, break up camp, do our morning routine, and hike out the trailhead. With that, we're not really thinking of the two hunters anymore. Well, as we get to the trailhead, we meet two ladies that had been preparing breakfast and are now cleaning up. As we are walking to the parking lot, they chat us up with the usual backcountry questions of how long we've been out, how many miles did we go, did we see any bears, what did we eat. Then almost at the same time, one lady offered up some of their leftover food, as the other girl starts yelling, "Hey hubby, these two are hiking up the same trail you were, and we're just out yesterday, but they were out for 2 weeks. Bring them some of that really good food and juice." Hubby pokes his head out of the camper to say hi, and lo and behold, it's the fucking hunter that was against the tree. His smile faded as quick as he saw my face, and it turned white, then to an angry look when he realized who was looking at him. Then his buddy, the giver, turns the damn corner from the trailer to see me standing there. I feel the blood drain from my body, and this guy's face turns from happy-go-lucky to disbelief and fear at the sight of me. The wife then asks if we happened on their husbands out there, as they were out there scouting for game yesterday. As I'm stumbling my words, they're darting their looks from me to themselves. Before I can say anything, my wife is answering, "Yes, we'd love some real food. No, we hadn't seen anyone. You guys are the first in 2 weeks." The wife turns to the hunters and says, "You guys must have a really good hiding spot." Cheese and fucking rice. I think both the hunters and me had a mini heart attack. One of the guys gives a nod. My wife and I graciously take their pancakes and sausage and all of the things. I can see both hunters quietly talking to each other, staring over at me once in a while. I'm doing my best to avoid the situation by packing up the car while my wife is thanking the hunters' wives for their food. Both hunters, God, I've cut out so many F-bombs in this. Both hunters with sidearms on their hips come up to me with a beer. The one that was on the tree kind of pushes it into my chest and asks if I'd seen anything out there. My heart freaking stops, and I again stumble over my words. Other than some wild animals, nothing worth writing home about. "Yeah, we didn't see much either. But we were really surprised you didn't hear us last night walking through your camp. Be careful. You never know what's going to happen out there in the middle of the woods." After a few seconds, the other one just smirks and they turn to leave with a, "Have a nice trip home." I wasn't sure what was going to happen in that moment, so I was psyching myself up for a fight. I was kind of shaken up as we were leaving the trailhead. My wife asks me if I were okay and if those were the guys I had seen. My reply was, "Yeah, what the fuck do you think, babe?" And then asked me if what they had said to me. I told her I thought I was going to have to fight them, but they just gave me a beer to buy my silence. I didn't mention the passive-aggressive threat they made while walking through our camp. The end. Yeah, I did not expect that story to take that twist. It was a very interesting twist. What a twist! M. Night Shyamalan would be very pleased with that. Nameless one says, "Not safe for work" story. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I that really kind of like caught me off guard as well. Very interesting. Jackie's like, had to hide in the bathroom to finish the story. Yeah, that was a interesting twist. I thought it was just gonna be like dudes creeping on him or something. Yeah, no. It's just creeping on each other. Those are them backcountry woods for you. That cat keeps stretching out. He's so cute. I just want to like squeeze him. Yeah, that was a really long story. A really long story. I didn't know that was going to be that long, and I also didn't know it was going to have a twist like that. And they're turning the frogs gay, and the hunters. The Crimes says dramatic reading styles are taking over the narration game, and it gives me a headache. Your maker has a good balance, monotone and dramatic reading. Yeah, I've personally never been a fan of the overly dramatic. I always find it kind of cheesy. I do the same with movies and shit too. That's why I'm more of the just read the damn story type of thing. The only dramatics I like to really add are like if I'm doing someone's quotes type of thing, or more or less like trying to get spacing and build up to the suspense, but I don't like, oh my god! My cat just looked at me all crazy. He's like, pet me, bitch! Yeah. Yeah, that was still a good story. It was just interesting, not the twist I wanted. That would still be weird as shit. Definitely people you wouldn't want to meet again, so it fit in that subreddit, let's not meet. That would be very interesting if they would have been like, yeah, we met your husbands. Saw them the other night. Gothic Librarian says, oh my god, the hunters were frogs. They had true love and turned into princess hunters? Or they drank the water that the frogs were in. Yes. Damn, we've been live almost 2 hours, people. I've been hearing my wife's alarm go off for like an hour. Yeah, we'll probably do one more story, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We'll do another nighttime hiking one, I guess. This one was posted like 10 months ago, and it's titled, My Girlfriend and I Went for a Night Hike. And it was posted on Let's Not Meet by Silent Hernandez. A few months back, my girlfriend and I were bored, hanging around the house, and spontaneously decided to go out for a hike. We don't hike often, but the idea appealed to the both of us. And even though there was only about an hour left of light, we figured we had enough time to go and enjoy a hike before it got too dark. We quickly filled up the water bottles and put on our best walking shoes we had, and were out the door driving up into the mountains. Around my area there are many hiking trails, with the variety of trails increasing as you go up into the mountains. We tended to stay around the base of the mountain in the occasional case of us hiking, where most people would still be walking, but we wanted to change things up and progressed further up into the mountains to a trail a friend of mine had mentioned. We kept in mind the time and figured that we could hike up a bit and simply enjoy the new environment and finish it up before it was too late. I was looking over at my cat real quick, and he's just sitting depressed in front of his food bowl, and now he's here meowing for food. Just hold on a few minutes, Thumper, and you will have food. Trust me, you're not gonna die. You're fat as hell, boy. We arrived at the trailhead and see that there were no cars left along the road where the trail commences. but didn't think much of it due to the time. We still had a good 45 minutes until dark, so we continued on. We started walking down a fairly steep hill that recoups the elevation at the bottom with an equally steep hill that you have to ascend. We reached the top and it's smooth sailing from there. We see a lone coyote off on the trail a ways up, and some rabbits, and I make a quip about those rabbits might need to be careful with that coyote lurking around. She playfully hit me for that one. Approximately less than a mile onto the trail, we see a large fallen tree that made a bridge over a dried riverbed, and decided to take a rest, climb around on it, and take pictures. We were there for about 10 minutes and then resumed hiking. We continued on the trail for a short distance until she hears a rustle in the trees behind us. We stop, mildly spooked due to the assumed size of whatever that was making the rustling, but continued on briefly before she decides she's done what she needed and we needed to head back. It's twilight now, so I agree with her and we turn around to head back to the car. When we make it back to the fallen tree, my shoe had come untied, so I use the trunk to fix my shoelaces and look behind us for the first time on the hike. Uncharacteristic for me, but hey, I was having fun. Why be paranoid? I see a person dressed entirely in black with their hood over their face, a significant distance behind us, walking at a slow, even pace. It wasn't something out of the ordinary, so what if they're wearing black and they had their hood on? I wear black most of the time and it's cold out. I shouldn't make assumptions. This does trigger me to be more alert, however, and I inform my girlfriend of this person's presence. He brought us a present, baby. It's now dusk. We continue on at an intentionally fast pace. My cat's climbing on me, meowing like, "Give me food!" I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but sorry. It's now dusk. We continue on at an intentionally faster pace and go through a winding section of the trail, and I lose sight of the person. When we come around the final bend section, I figure that they're far behind us and there's nothing to worry about. Sooner than later, the person is behind us again, but much closer, probably 50 feet in comparison to the 100 feet before. And we were walking around another bend. As soon as we come around it, we book it. It seemed to be a natural reaction on both of our parts as we just started running without a word said to initiate it. We're nearing the trailhead now, with only the hills to deal with. We catch our breaths for a moment and I turn around again. I see the person seemingly halt a sprint upon noticing me looking back, as if they're trying to uphold the illusion of simply walking. At this point, I shout, "Go!" "Shut up, kitty," and we sprint down the hill. What little light left struggled to make it through the dense trees and steep hill for... It's hard to be creepy when a cat's just meowing in your face constantly. Fuck a bitch. Little bitch. What little light was left struggled to make it through the dense trees surrounding us, and the steep hill provided a challenging run down without a clear path to be seen. We both stumbled down the hill, almost falling multiple times and slamming our feet onto the rocks and loose brush. Get away from my mic. Do something. We make it to the bottom, but must continue up the initial hill, and then we will have made it out. Stop touching the mic, bro. Go chill. Go. Fucking hell. Where the fuck was I? We both stumble down the hill, almost falling multiple times and slamming our feet onto rocks and loose brush. But we didn't fall, and we didn't look behind us. We make it to the bottom, but must continue up the initial hill, and then we will have made it out. We persevere up the incline and make it back to our car. I briefly breathe in relief, and I start the car, heart pounding and adrenaline racing. As I reverse onto the road, the person emerges at the trailhead, apparently breathing heavy. We finally get a glimpse of him. His hood had fallen off of his head, exposing his pale complexion and dead eyes that were only illuminated by a single lantern at the start of the trail. He was holding something in his hand, but it was too dark to see, and I was not interested in sticking around to make out what the object was. I shift into drive and accelerate as fast as my car could muster, leaving him behind in a dust of the empty side of the road. Night trail stalker, dude. Let's not meet. Minus. Thank you so much for that. I must have missed that. That was 27 minutes ago. I'm sorry, dude. Oh, my headset's turned off. I hope you're still here. It said, Happy Easter, long-time listener. I was just curious, whatever happened to the deep web confessions you posted a long time ago? I made it unlisted. I made a lot of my old videos like that unlisted. So, that's what happened to it. I think the only way to get it now is it's like for my patrons in that big-ass file of all my unlisted videos. I'm trying to remember when I did that. I mean, I know the story. I'm just meaning when I made them unlisted. I know it was a really long time ago. But yeah, that's what happened to it. Miss Bellatrixa says, all I can hear is your cat. Well, yeah. Sorry about that. Tell the cat if he wants food to narrate. He's just like, he starts smacking him into my mic and everything. That's why he's in so many of my made-up stories. Like, I cut him out of some of them. He's just rolling around on the floor looking at me now and licking the floor. He's like, I'll just eat the ground. The cat meowing that you all just heard is this is actually his face. I took that picture when he was yawning. Yeah, Jackie knows. Yeah. But yeah, they're very interesting. Amanda says, hungry kittens are not happy kittens. No, and he's crazy. Like, I gotta get on him to leave the other one. Yeah, that's Thumper meowing. Tigger's not really gonna meow unless... Well, he'll meow if he wants food too. But Thumper's the really talkative one. But Tigger went to eat the other day, and Thumper's fat. He's like 30 pounds. He's massive. He's a Maine Coon thing. I think. Something like that. I don't know. My buddy knows too, because he's had a cat like this, but it's massive. And Tigger, he's the skinny one. He went to go eat the other day, and Thumper just came bounding out of the room. He was on the bed, and he just bounded out of there, like running dead sprint, and then like slides across the floor and shoulder pushes Tigger out of the way and just starts eating the food. So I had to like grab him and be like, no, dude, because they have two different bowls, but he always wants to kick Tigger out of there and be like, "Come on, bitch." So you gotta like stop him and be like, yo, you're fat enough. You gotta share the food. So, yeah. Cherry Shrimp, nice name, says, Hiya Maker, hope you are well. From 2:10 a.m. in Scotland. Damn, it's early for you. What's up? Back to you at 6 p.m. here in Arizona. Miss Bellatrixer says, I really want a fat cat. Yeah, they're super cuddly too. I like it. As soon as I'm in the bedroom, he always jumps under the blankets. He's like, cuddle time. Like, he's always at my side. It's crazy. I've never had a cat like this crazy attached to me. Like, always at my side. Whether I'm sleeping, all my people in the Discord, the patron Discord, I shared a picture of when I was in the bathroom, and it's like one of those kid commercials where you see a hand coming under the door. Like, he'll sit there the entire time I'm in the bathroom, whether it be showering or anything else, and his arms like going up under the door. He's like trying to reach me and shit. And when I try to actually like touch him to play with him, he'll just like grab me with his claws, and it hurts like a motherfucker. Fuck bitch. Yeah, I cuss a lot, sorry. I thought Thumper was Bambi's friend. Yeah. I guess that's why he got the name, is because he used to jump a lot and kick his leg a lot. Greg asks, how are your health issues? Sleeping? Oh man, they've been horrible. Hence why I haven't had many videos, and that's about why I'm start in the stream right now too, is they're starting to act up. But I should fill out hopefully my insurance paperwork tomorrow at work, and then hopefully on the 1st I'll have insurance so I can start seeing the doctors and hope for the best. But thank you for asking. Yeah, sleep's been shitty, work's been shitty, like everything's been shitty. Fucking health issues have just been adding on to the shittiness of everything, but hopefully they'll be taken care of soon. Matthew says, my cat got shot when I was a baby. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, we've had some pretty gnarly luck with animals when I was growing up too. Someone shot our dog while we were school clothes shopping. They shot it with a shotgun 3 times. The dog lived. It was buckshot, and it had a whole bunch of different shots go through her body completely, but she lived. That dog had been ran over by a car, had part of her ear ripped off. Like it lived until it just died of old age. And like kittens ripped apart, literally ripped apart. We've had those. I had chickens where mountain lions and shit like that would eat them, so they'd be thrown all over. Ducks, the crows or ravens or whatever the fuck would come grab those out of the pens. One of my mom's ex-husbands accidentally stepped on a kitten. He was running in and out of the rain, and a kitten ran across his path and had its head crushed. Like, it always sucks to lose animals in that kind of way. Amanda says, everything's been shitty, but then you have us. Exactly. That's why I decided to do a stream. It's nice to be able to chat with some people. The missus wanted some sleep anyway, so it works all good. I'm gonna ask something. Missed it. Did you serve in the military or some branch of the army? They're both the same thing. The military is just a generalized statement that covers, well, armed forces is the correct term. And that would be like Coast Guard, Navy, Marines, Army. Those are your different branches. And I was in the Army. And then within the subsection, my MOS is what they call it. That's my job in the Army, was a combat engineer. And where I was at was part of the Big Red 1. Do I miss the military days? Yes and no. Like, it's actually something I've thought about a lot lately too. Like, if I would have stayed in, I would be not very far. I'd be like six years from retirement. 7 years from retirement, about. But I miss the camaraderie. I don't miss being told what to do all the time. And like, you can be out of town on a weekend or leave or anything, and you just get a call that, come in. And you fucking have to drop anything you're doing, no matter how far you are, and get your ass back, type of thing. Mika asks, any stories today? You missed like a lot. I've read well over a good 45 minutes worth of stories. Actually, the past few have been long as fuck. So you can scan backwards. The very beginning of the stream, I started with a story too, so you can literally go all the way to the beginning and you'll hear a story. But yeah, I do miss like certain aspects, but then there's other aspects I don't. Like, we'd have people get fucking DUIs all the time. Like, that's a big thing in the military. Like, a lot of people get DUIs, and you get called in, like, your entire company's like your whole group of people. Like, it's all split up. It'd be too complicated to explain right now, but they have everything in subdivisions to make a little bit divisions and subdivisions, all that weird shit. But your company would be called in nonstop, and if it's really bad, your whole battalion will get called in, and everyone's weekend's fucked up. And I think my wife just opened the door. Forgot he wanted food. He's meowing like crazy, waking her up. Good for him. Yeah, he's starving. She just walked down and looked at his food bowl because of how much he was meowing. He started meowing during... I was reading a story, and he was just like sitting in front of his bowl looking depressed as fuck. And then he just runs up and just starts meowing nonstop. But yeah, there's just a lot of overhang for military. So yes and no, I miss the military stuff. I miss a lot of the shit I got to do. Like shoot my machine guns, blow shit up. Like a lot of things you really can't do too much in the civilian world. But yeah. Jackie says, I miss the camaraderie also. I miss the military wives, but I hated having been married for 11 years, but only physically together about 7. Yeah, it's rough on the whole military families. Which is why it's cool, like for a lot of people that aren't in the military or don't know about it, what happens is like the wives or the husbands of the military member, they actually have groups before you deploy, all that kind of shit, though. Everyone will get together and pretty much introduce everybody, and you can exchange phone numbers, so that way you have a good support system. So they do have some places in place, some measures in place, but yeah, it's still really rough. Like I had a lot of buddies that would just like nonstop be deployed. Yeah, Thumper's crazy. But he's got food now, so... You took 2 bites and then walked off? What the fuck? He just wanted to, like, have the satisfaction of knowing he could come back. He's like, I'm gonna eat 2 bites and then disappear. How long did I serve? About 3 years. 3 years. I ended up joining... Was I 18? Yeah, I think I just turned 18. I think, yeah. And then I recruited my sister. Jackie says 3 deployments and several out-of-state trainings. Yeah, the out-of-state training's another big thing. Whether it be in Southern California doing the desert training or... Like we went back... It was actually really cool because I did my basic training in Fort Leonard Wood. That's where all engineers go. And we did all our training there. That's where you had your drill sergeants, all that shit. And then we went to our duty station in Kansas, and then we had to go back to do more training at the same military post that we did our basic at. And you know, we were told we weren't allowed to talk to any of the soldiers in training, none of that, you know, because they're going through what they need to go through all their training. Saying training so much. Take a shot every time I say training. But it was really cool because you got to see the whole different side. Because while you're there, it's drill sergeant, yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant, blah, 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 permission to speak, drill sergeant. And you always travel with your battle buddy in pairs type of thing. You can, if you walk alone, you're fucked type of thing. But when we went back in training, we're not in training anymore. You know, we actually got our patches on us, all that shit. So we were walking around, and like if we had our side where the drill sergeants couldn't see us or whatever, and we just called them sergeants then, because at that point they're not a drill sergeant to us, you know, we just call them sergeants. And they'd stop us to fuck with us, like if we were thinking that we were training and they were going to smoke the shit out of us, which is essentially a whole bunch of push-ups and sit-ups and runs and crab walking and some really actually fucking funny shit. They come up with some really like the cat one. They had one they called the cat, or whatever the hell it was. You have to take your rucksack and you're on your back with all fours spinning your rucksack type of shit. But it was just cool to see their other personality, see them fuck around with us and all kinds of stuff. Something you don't get to really see, because usually when you're done with basic training, you're never going to see the drill sergeants again, because you're not supposed to be around trainees like that. So, yeah. They call you privates to piss you off. Just more of a rank thing. That's always gonna happen. Private, specialist, corporal, sergeant. It's the official way to get her done. And then it gets to the point, because like you gotta salute officers. It doesn't matter if they're butter bars or anything. You gotta salute officers all the time within a certain amount of pacing. And So you'll actually, once you get to your duty state, you know, at first you're just like, yeah, I'll just salute. And then like, it gets to the point where you're like, you see from way off in a distance, farther than the distance you need to be, you'll see an officer and you're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to walk around so you don't got to salute him. And you'll notice even sometimes the officers will do it too. Because as much as you get bored of saluting them, they get saluted to every single fucking time. So they get bored of it too. I had a buddy who was an officer and it was funny as shit. He'd be like, dude, I just walk around and try to avoid people because it gets annoying. No, they call you shitbag to piss you off. Shitbag's the term. Or a blue falcon. Blue falcon is pretty much the big term. That's essentially a buddy fucker is what they call it. It means you're screwing your buddies over. Will Mon says, SOCOM, PS2, man, the good old days. Don't tell me you've been around on my channel since then. That was like my first video. That'd be funny as fuck. That mean you'd be like one of my first subs. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We've been live over 2 hours now. My wife's up, spending some time with her. Fat cat fucking ate 2 bites of food and then walked off. I guess he just wanted to be more harassing, so yeah. Does the army teach you leave no man behind? Oh yes. Every branch will do that. Every branch will teach you leave no man behind. And even though all the branches give each other a hard time and talk shit to each other, they all know they're on the same team and they wouldn't leave any other branch behind either. If you're there and if you're Army and a Marine's left behind, you'll go in and get them. And Marines, same thing. I mean, it's a camaraderie between the whole thing, but we're still going to talk shit. I mean, that's just how it is. But, yeah. Queen Mead, well, damn, you mean you have a life besides this, dude? Yeah, I do. But I'm happy we at least had a nice, decent, long stream. And, yeah. Maybe if I get bored tonight, I'll do a Patreon channel member stream or something. Maybe play some video games or something. But that probably won't be public, so yeah. Alright, everybody. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Easter if it's still Easter. And for those of you that it's just a regular day, I hope you have a regular day. Happy. I don't know what the fuck I was just trying to say. But I hope you have a good day. Oh, I got some fucking fire whiskey. I was watching a video on YouTube and it was like Irish people try whiskey, Jim Beam's whiskey. So I watched it and they were all making crazy faces over the regular whiskey and shit. And then everyone, when they tried the fire whiskey, they're like, damn, this is good. So I got some today and it's good. Yeah. I'm gonna take a little bit of that. I'm gonna drink it. Drink it real good. Alright, I'm gonna say goodbye again. Well, bad bye. Bad bye. Thank you all for everyone dropping in, showing some support and all that good stuff. If you are a new patron or a new channel member, go check out the last exclusive video. You can look in the community tab of my page if you're a channel member, or if you're a patron, just go to my patron posts and you can find them there. Yeah. Have a great night, everybody. I'll catch you all later.